So we're going to talk a little bit about the TCM, or the traditional Chinese medicine part of this, because I want you all to be a bit more knowledgeable about the medical part that's behind Tai Chi and Qigong, because it's thousands of years old and it works. It works incredibly well. There's a lot of TCM I don't agree with, but they don't tend to be the TCM that was originally made. They tend to be humans thinking that they can improve it by doing particular things, which I don't agree with. The body is cut up into certain segments and systems in TCM, just as it is in Western medicine. This one, the Wei Qi, is governed by the lungs, okay, and the kidneys. It's governed by the lungs because it's talking about exchange. So you're exchanging with your food. You bring in one type of food that's exchanged within the body system into energy, and that energy then goes out into the other systems and powers them. It's also the same as you'll see with what we do next week. There is that particular system is that actually works from the outside in too, but from the skin part of it. So this is building a resilient shield. So this is your armor. This is your armor against pathogens. This is your armor against viruses, and it works. It works really well. So what you need to see when you're doing this, going through, is that you're activating parts of your system and you're developing parts of your system which don't normally get activated or developed in Western life. When the winter comes, nature turns inwards. Everything dies off, everything goes to sleep. And pretty much as humans, we should do something similar. This is not a time to push. It's the worst time of the year that you can push physically. So don't push physically. You get a lot of people, New Year's, oh, I'm going to run a marathon in 3 months' time, and they start running. And it's probably the worst time of the year they could possibly do that. They will deplete the body's energy systems very, very quickly. And by the time they've depleted it, they won't realize that they needed to be storing it instead, which is why the second part of this is your kidneys, which is where you store all your energy and all your chi. So TCM wise, we're talking lungs and kidneys, exchange, shield, and storage. And those three things are very important for what comes next. So I'm going to show you a slide. So Wei Qi, defensive Qi. These slides will be available. These are the things that I think that you're probably going to want to pick up on later. A lot of what you're looking at here is actually herbs and traditional Chinese medicines for Wei Qi, for building Wei Qi. Okay, so it's a good one to look at so that you can get some idea of what you need to be buying. We're going into an area of cold. So remember the system of yin and yang. So if we're going into cold and yin, what do we need to do? We need to have yang. So we need to have warmth. And that warmth needs to come from the body outwards, not from the sun, because you're not going to get it. Not unless you're lucky to be living in the Caribbean or somewhere like that. But even there, when they go into their cold season, it's just as serious as it is if you're living in Canada or Sweden. So you're looking for strengthening your digestive fire. If you strengthen your digestive fire, then that will counter the cold that's coming in from the outside. So you need to do things like soups, stews, slow cooked meats. All of them are really good for making sure that you get warmth in it. But the makeup of those soups, stews, and slow cooked meals that you're talking about here, they need to contain what you can see here, root vegetables like sweet potatoes, carrots, turnips. Doesn't matter what the root vegetable is, it's coming from the earth. It's coming from the yin source and it's becoming a yang product because it's grown there. Okay, so it's the yang that comes from yin, and that's what you're taking from the ground into your food, and then you're going to consume it because that's the right type of yang that you need. Bone broths. Some people are okay with these, some aren't. You go to your butcher and ask your butcher for bones to make broth with. These are bones that have the marrow inside them. The marrow again is formed from yin because it's coming from a cold, hard bone and it's forming in the middle. That's the yang coming from the yin. Again, that is the type of food that you need to be consuming because that's the right type of yang that's going to counteract the yin of the winter. Lean, warming proteins like beef or lamb. Okay, so we're not very vegetarian over here, I'm afraid, but we do recommend that you have a mainly plant-based diet supplemented with small amounts of non-plant-based foods. So here you're looking at red meat. Again, with red meat, you're looking at the yang that comes from yin again. Because the red meat is that type of meat, it has yang within it. If you're going to look at fish here, you may be looking at game fish like tuna, salmon, fast swimming fish that can also swim at deep levels. And this is how you judge your foods. If you're going to actually have a diet that's going to be making your life live longer, you need to be very careful about what diet you actually have. So here, you need to put these spices in. Ginger, garlic, onions, any type of onions, doesn't matter, and cinnamon. Like it says there, something as simple as ginger water in the morning is really great. Ginger shots have become very popular in the West. This works very well. What I would recommend is you buy the ginger shot and you put it into warm water. Instead of drinking it cold, drink it warm. Maybe add a little honey.